Hi all, welcome to Lexeria, your law learning space. So in this video, we'll be discussing on the types of constitution. So on going with the types of constitution, there are 10 major types of constitution, where constitution is categorized into 10 major types based on its nature. So first type of constitution is evolved constitution. What is evolved constitution? The constitution that grows slowly and gradually over time. So it is not that in a particular point of time or in a particular date that this constitution has been enacted or this constitution has been enforced. It is a slow process where it grows and evolves slowly. So the best example for this type of constitution is Constitution of UK. Right, Constitution of UK is considered as evolved constitution. And the second type is enacted constitution. Enacted constitution is actually a constitution which is made on a particular point of time, that is, it is made at once, where people come together, where they form an association or a committee, where they draft together and say that this constitution will be enforced from a particular date. So it has a specified time as to its creation and its enforcement. So that is called enacted constitution. And the third type of constitution is written constitution. Written constitution is that constitution and principles of constitution that are written and codified, that is binded into a single document or a single book, and that is called written constitution. What is unwritten constitution? It is not that unwritten constitution means it is not written at all. It is actually written, but it is not binded as a single document, where the constitutional principles are scattered into many sources. Are scattered into many sources means scattered as practices, judicial decisions, customs and all. So one of the best examples for unwritten constitution is again the Constitution of UK, right? So on going with the other category, other type of constitution is flexible and rigid constitution. So flexible constitution are actually the constitution which are easy to modify. So whenever we want to modify the constitution by following a simple procedure, these constitution can be modified in flexible constitution. On going with the rigid constitution, on the other hand, it involves difficult process and procedures that is to be followed to modify the constitution. It does not mean that constitution cannot be modified at all. In rigid constitution, constitution can be modified, but it requires special and complex procedures that should be followed, and that type of constitution is rigid constitution. On going with the other type, it is procedural constitution and prescriptive constitution. What is procedural constitution? Procedural constitution is what it gives it gives the provisions that focuses on how things should work. That is, it focuses and gives us procedure to do certain things. For example, it will give procedures as to how elections should be conducted, or procedures as to how fundamental rights should be exercised, and how emergency provision should be followed and operated in the country. So these are all will be dealt under procedural constitution, where procedural constitution is where it lays down the procedures as to how things work. And the other thing is prescriptive constitution. It is opposite of procedural constitution, where it focuses on what should be done, right? So on going with the last and final two types of constitution is federal constitution and unitary constitution. What is federal constitution? Federal constitution is actually the constitution which focuses on the division of power between the central government and the state government, where it is the constitution which is made in such a way that the powers of the government are equally distributed between the union government and the state government. On the other hand, unitary constitution, what is unitary constitution is that it is a type of constitution where it is made to give majority of the power to the union government. Okay, so unitary constitution is where it focuses on the powers of unitary, that is union government, and limits the powers of the state government. It is made in constitution is made in such a way that it centralizes power in the union government and it gives limited and minimal power to the state government, right? So these are all the types of constitution that we have all around the world. Thank you guys.